Hey, Bills Mafia, Joey D here. Let me introduce myself. Well, 56 years old. Been a Bills fan for all those years. Okay. So, yeah, I guess long time Bills fan. Lifelong Bills fan is what I meant to say. Lifelong Bills fan, 30 plus year radio broadcaster that's been out of radio broadcasting for about 5 years now. And I don't know, just wanted a way to share my Bills fandom with others. And I figure, you know, with my broadcast experience, let's give this a shot. Try this out. So, anyway, I guess this is from more of a hardcore fan perspective. Never was, like my guy Joe Marino, who's the king of Bills podcasters, I guess is what you could call him. He's he's a former scout, really knows the game. That's not me. I'm not a scout. I can't tell you what. I can tell you the basics of like formations and defenses and offenses and plays. I know the basics. I know what most fans know, and I probably know a little more than your average fan. I'm hardcore, been that way my whole life, and just as a person, I'm an all in or all out guy. That's just who I am. So I've always been all in on the Bills, and that's never going to change. Let me straighten this out a little bit. There's that a little better. That's never going to change. So just wanted to introduce myself, say hello, and coming soon, I'm going to put together my thoughts on the Bills' upcoming season. Today, as I sit here, it's Monday, July the 24th. Is that right? Yeah, July the 24th. I had to look at the calendar here on the computer. This morning, we had the Nyheim Hines news. Really bad news about I guess he got in a jet ski accident over the weekend. Where he was just sitting there, not even moving on his jet ski, and he got rammed by another jet ski. And apparently his knee is shot, and he's out for the season. It's not great news just before the start of training camp, which starts Wednesday. So look for the Bills to be signing probably another depth running back, maybe even two, because as it was, they probably needed to sign another running back just for camp. So maybe they need to sign two running backs for camp purposes. I think the running back room's already set, even without Nyheim Hines. James Cook. They've got, what's his face? The guy from New England. See, this is from a fan perspective. I'm trying to think of the guys' names. Latavius Murray's going to be running back number 3. And the dude from New England, whatever his name is, the guy that's killed us for years, how do I not know his name? He's going to be running back 2, RB2 in that room. And then they'll probably just sign 1 or 2 guys just for camp purposes, for guys that can play in the preseason games a lot more than the guys you're going to use. I like the fact that we have 2 guys now, both the New England guy, why can't I think of his name, and Latavius Murray, who are probably both more short yardage backs. So that we don't have to use Josh for our short yardage back all the time, which is great. Anyway, I'm going to get into more stuff like this in the coming days, probably on Wednesday. I'm going to probably put together a video for the start of training camp and my thoughts on the roster and all that. The sky is not falling. I will say that here. I'm convinced the sky is not falling. The naysayers, a lot of the national media, I keep seeing these ESPN guys, these NFL Network guys, picking either the Dolphins or even the Jets before picking the Bills just for the division, which to me is insanity. We were 13-3 last year. Lost those 3 games by a total of 8 points. What are you people thinking? And we've gotten better in the offseason. Yes, we lost Edmonds, and we still really don't know for sure who's going to replace him. But to me, Edmonds was not a key to the defense. And the fact that I love the fact that Sean McDermott's taken over the defense. He is a lot more aggressive in his play calling on defense than Leslie Frazier ever was. And I think the Leonard Floyd signing is really key to the defense. Anyway, I'm kind of going on all different directions here. These are some of my early thoughts. The sky is not falling. We're not going to go downhill. The window's not closed. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. We have Josh Allen. The window's not going to be closed for quite a while. And it's not even closing. Not happening. And, Diggs is going to be there Wednesday and everything's going to be fine. I think that was my personal opinion, just from hearing all the reports and hearing from people I know in Buffalo. You know how I live in South Carolina. I haven't lived in the Western New York area since 1988, but I am a native Buffalonian. Travel up there every year, several times a year for games and visit family and whatnot. My family owns a condo up there that I always stay in, mile and a half from the stadium in Orchard Park. I think it's more of a personal thing, the Diggs thing. I think it's a personal thing between Diggs and Josh, truthfully. I think a lot of the reporting is wrong on this. I'm just hearing things through someone who knows someone who knows some, I get a lot of that. My uncle owns a business in Orchard Park. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to say what it's a local building supply place in Orchard Park. He owns and runs, and a lot of people come in and out of there that are connected to the Bills somehow. They work there. They know someone and I've just heard some things. I've heard things in the past that have come true later on through him as well. So I don't know. I think it's a personal thing. Anyway, this is going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy this. You'll get to know me a little bit. I love to talk. All my former bosses in radio were like, "Joey, you talk too much." I was in music. I was a radio disc jockey. I was not a talk show host. So it was always, "Joey, you're talking too long. You're talking too much. Make it shorter. Be concise." I don't have to worry about that here. I have my own boss on this. I'm just doing this for fun. We can call this a podcast. I'm calling this a podcast, but no sponsorships, none of that. And as you can see, my background's not even set up yet. I'm a real estate agent by trade, so you see some of that stuff in the background. This is my office. I'm gonna have to set up something in here with a Bills backdrop. My living room has some great Bills backdrop stuff. Our living room is basically Bills Mafia headquarters for the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area. We throw a lot of watch parties and whatnot. And we have the living room basically set up like a man cave. It's great. Thank God to Triss, my better half, who not only has allowed that, but encouraged that. She's a big fan as well. Even though she's not a Buffalo native, a Western New York native, she's originally an Idaho native. So she went to Boise State, was a college basketball player at Boise State back in the 90s, and actually became a Bills fan just prior to us meeting through her knowledge of Josh Allen in college at Wyoming playing Boise State in the Idaho Potato Bowl or whatever it was. Anyway, she loved Josh Allen in college and became a Bills fan kind of because of that. And that's a long story I don't want to get into here. Anyway, I'm going to have fun doing this. I don't know if anyone's even interested. If you even find this very remotely interesting, I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to post this hopefully on YouTube and Facebook is my plan. Hopefully that's where this will end up. We shall see. I don't even know what I'm calling this yet. I think it's going to be something like, hey, a Mafia fan's perspective or something. I don't know. It's going to be more from a fan perspective than from a media member or a Bills insider or a former scout like Joe Marino or Matt Perino, which I love his podcast too, the New York Upstate podcast, the Shout, a Buffalo podcast that he does. Love his podcast as well, along with Joe Marino's podcast. Those are things that I watch, and I listen to WGR all the time. Especially love me some Sal Capaccio, my favorite broadcaster from WGR. So, yeah, this is going to be good. We're going to have some fun, or at least I'm going to have some fun. If you don't have fun, you don't have to watch. It's going to be fun for me. It's going to be an outlet for me to share with you my Bills fandom and just to feel like I'm interacting with people and get maybe some other people's thoughts. Because I'm a member of a lot of the Bills Mafia groups on Facebook, and it gets insane in there. It gets crazy. There are a lot of insane Bills fans. I've come to that conclusion by watching that feed that there are a lot of sky is falling fans. There's a lot of fans that have no idea what's going on in the sport. And it's just, I find it entertaining, at times frustrating. This is probably going to be my outlet to frustration about the team occasionally too. So just going to warn you on that. I'm a very passionate fan, and Carolina. I mean, you can ask my better half, Triss. Triss isn't Tris, like Tristan, not Trish, but Triss. Anyway, maybe I can even get her on here sometime. She's a big fan too. So, but we've hung out with Bill's dad at games. We got to meet Pinto Ron last year, which was cool. I had never met him before. So we're really into it hardcore. We go to as many. We try to go to at least 2 or 3 games a year, at least one in Buffalo. We'll see how that works out this year. We do have Triss's youngest daughter is going to college this August. She checks in at Johnson and Wales University in Charlotte, which is like right next to the stadium and right next to the best buffalo pizza outside of Western New York. Bizante Pizza, free plug Bizante Pizza, which again is right across from Johnson and Wales University and right down the street from the Panther Stadium. So that's very cool. And I need to meet Joe Marino one of these days, since I will probably be in Charlotte quite a bit with my Triss's daughter heading off to college. But yeah, so don't know how many games we're going to get to this year. That, sending a kid to college is expensive, so we shall see. But anyway, again, I'll probably do another one of these on Wednesday for the kickoff to training camp. Otherwise, stay safe. Bills players, no more jet skis. Please stay safe. We don't need any more accidents. And our prayers go out to Naheem Hines. Hopefully he's going to be all right in the long run. And we can hope for his full participation next season. This season, it's going to be a long road for him. Anyway, we'll see you Wednesday. Go Bills!